you gonna make a moment? Look at that, perfect. You want to go back?
Good evening. Welcome to the induction ceremony for the Medina chapter of the National Honor Society. My name is Scott Benson, math teacher here at Medina High School and advisor to the National Honor Society. I'm pleased to be associated with such a prestigious organization. It is also an enjoyable part of my job to have the opportunity to work with the fine individuals on the stage tonight. As the evening progresses, you will learn a little bit about each of these students. These individuals do have some commonalities. Each member has attained an overall average in the 90s since 9th grade. In addition, each student has been judged by the faculty to possess the qualities set forth in the Society's Constitution. Those qualities are character, scholarship, leadership, and service. At this time, I would like to introduce the officers to the Medina chapter. This year's leadership team consists of President Abby Dawson, along with Eileen Horgan, Anna Oakes, Elizabeth Roberts, Brianna Steiner, Ann Robinson, and Amy Root. I will now call upon Mr. Krasinski. Let's introduce. Also seated on stage tonight are Mr. Wesley Pickering, our principal, and Mr. Mark Krasinski, assistant principal. I will now call upon Mr. Krasinski to say a few words.
Good evening. First of all, thank you for asking me to speak at tonight's induction. It's both an honor and a privilege. I would like to offer my congratulations to everyone who was inducted tonight, as well as all the parents who have helped make each student here the person that they are today. Being selected to the National Honor Society is truly an honor, and the work that has brought every student to this point has been great. However, I ask that each student continue to strive to even higher goals than what you've achieved tonight. The first goal that all of you have met tonight is scholarship. Everybody here has a high average, but being a member of the Honor Society asks more than a high average. At this point in your academic careers, many of you are beginning to realize how much that you do not know and how much more you would like to know. Curiosity is a sign of a true scholar. When you realize that you do not know something, ask questions, find out answers, seek the story behind the story. Popular legend has it that once, when a colleague asked Albert Einstein for his phone number, Einstein reached for a phone book and looked it up. The startled man asked him, "You don't remember your own phone number?" This great genius shrugged his shoulders and said, "Why should I memorize something that I can so easily get from a book?" The point of this story is that one of the smartest men in history did not have all the answers, but he did know where to find them. Knowledge is more than memorizing facts. It's knowing where to find the answers. The next criteria for your selection has been leadership. All of you have been, or have the potential to be, great leaders in society. Leadership is more than simply being elected as president of an organization. You have the opportunity to lead people every day of your life in everything that you do. True leaders lead by example that they set for everyone else. Make sure that whatever you do, you'll be proud to have people following you as you head towards your goals. The third criteria for selection is community service. One of the most important things that you can do for your community is to give back to it. Do not look at community service as merely a requirement for a government course. Instead, use this as an opportunity to share with your community your talents, ideas, that have brought you to the stage tonight. Finally, the fourth, and I believe the most important criteria for selection to Honor Society, is character. Obviously, many of you are characters. But that's not what I mean when I speak of character tonight. Those of you in this room are going to go on to many great things in life. Along that journey, you'll be placed in many situations where you have to make decisions based upon your character. Your background and your upbringing has taught you right from wrong. The challenge now is to do what is right. Doing what is right is not always popular, nor is it easy. But knowing right from wrong does not mean much unless you do what is right. We've all heard the saying before that character is what you do when nobody's looking. Remember, this ties in with leadership. If you continue to do what is right, other people will follow you. Please continue to make this school and this community an excellent place to live and to work. As you use your gifts throughout your lives, please make the most of all the opportunities that life has presented you. Again, I offer my sincere congratulations to the students and to the parents on the honor that you're receiving tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krasinski. Hopefully everyone on the way in, every family received one of these bound keepsake programs. There's the student's name on each program out there. We printed plenty of these. We have one available tonight per family. We do have more available upon request. Just let your Honor Society person know, and we can get more of these programs for you. But I thought I'd take a look for a second and show you some of the things in here. First of all, we have some statistics on the 42 senior members here. Maybe some things you didn't know. Maybe some things you do know. Added together, we own approximately 731 pairs of shoes. Is that true? And later on, we have some little known facts about some of these seniors, and maybe when I read the fact, maybe they'll want to admit who they are, and maybe they won't. So if you do want to admit who you are, just stand up when I read this about you. Did you know that one person on the stage here tonight is addicted to buying purses? Does she want to admit to that? No? Okay. How about there's someone on stage that wishes they had an afro? No? How about, I know this person will admit to this. They have scrapophobia. They can't stand to scrape the ice off their own windshield. Does she want to admit to that? How about someone who likes Siamese cats? Does he want to admit to that? Thanks, Blaine. There's so many good ones here, I better stop pretty soon though. How about I almost died from a baby carrot? You thought you knew each other, didn't you? And one more, I have a metal plate and a screw in my left foot. That would be Steve. It took a great amount of time to put this program together, but I think we had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you'll hang on to this. Certainly something to remember this event and this year. This has really been a special year this year. Now for our next speaker, would you please welcome Mr. Pickard.
Thank you. I too would like to offer my congratulations not only to the inductees this evening, but for our seniors who will soon be graduating for representing our school so well for so long. If we're doing little unknown facts, I suppose there's one probably fact that very few people here know about me, and I think there's a few people that might know. At the age of 40, I found out that I was adopted, so it was 10 years ago. So that's a little unknown fact about me, so you might want to share with that. Parents kept a pretty good secret for a long time. Tonight's one of the events at school I look forward to every year. It's a chance for me to congratulate some outstanding students for some extraordinary accomplishments. As Mr. Krasinski conveyed earlier, and the officers will convey through their ceremony, you've been inducted in the National Honor Society because you've demonstrated high levels of scholarship, leadership, service to others, and character. While this is a celebration, I caution you that it's not the ending of a chapter in your lives, but rather it should be a beginning. Seniors, most of you will be off to college sooner than you realize. Juniors, next year you will become the leaders and the tone setters of our school. Much how next year will progress will depend on your leadership. I'd like you to reflect on how you got here and what lessons you've learned. The obvious is you have some God-given talents and natural inherent abilities that enable you to learn. You've learned to value education. But it's the principles of success and responsibilities that will sustain you as your next chapter unfolds. In past speeches, I've quoted Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, on a regular basis. I would like to take some liberty with Mr. Covey's habits and present to you the 7 habits of highly responsible students. These habits will sustain you through the next chapter in your lives, whether it be your senior year next year or your freshman year in college. Habit 1. Highly successful students set goals. Goals will keep you focused on the future and are the foundation of responsible behavior and success in high school or college. Set goals for yourself. For example, what 2 things might you like to accomplish before the school year ends? What will you need to accomplish these goals? When you have goals, you will find it easier to say no to irresponsible behaviors that could interfere with the vision that you have for your future. Habit 2. Highly successful students plan their time. Responsible people meet their obligations, whether it be turning in a paper when it's due or your career portfolio. A couple of my friends back there. Or having a report on the boss's desk that takes planning to meet your obligation. Use a calendar to organize yourself and your time. Plan out your semester and long-term projects at the beginning of each semester. Good planning will help you obtain your goals and reduce the stress that is often associated with deadlines. Habit 3. Highly successful students study every day. Learning and success at school is similar to building a brick wall. It's done steadily and 1 brick at a time. Even when nothing is due, the successful student will assign themselves something. It could be reviewing your notes or reading a chapter ahead. There's always something that you can study every day. Habit 4. Highly successful students take good notes. You're all good students, and I'm sure nearly all of you take notes in class. When you take notes effectively, you effectively activate the many different ways you learn. You hear it, you see it, you say it to yourselves, and you write it. If you can add to that teaching it to someone else, the likelihood of you truly understanding and recalling the facts of what you've learned approaches 90%. Habit 5. Highly successful students have the tools they need. A carpenter would never think of showing up to work without a hammer. A nurse always has a stethoscope with them. The obvious tools for a student are pens, pencils, calculators, notebooks, computers. You get the picture. But there are other tools. Things like a healthy lifestyle that include a proper diet and a good night's sleep are tools that are just as important. Habit 6. Highly successful students keep their commitments. Responsible people honor their commitments to others, including school, the team, and most importantly, their family. They also honor the commitments to themselves. Remember the goals I mentioned in Habit 1. You should never let others down, but more importantly, you should never let yourself down by putting forth your best effort every time in everything. Habit 7. Highly successful students get ready ahead of time. How many times have I seen some of you running into school just as the bell rings? How many of you start off too many days with a crisis because you can't find something in the morning that you need for school? Take a few minutes each night to plan your morning.